Welcome to day 23 of How to Automate Your Law Firm in 90 Days. I am Shay Jackson, your AI automation specialist. We have talked about with the client lead form how to use Google Sheets, Google Forms in Make.com, and also Airtable in Make.com. But what if you can create a form, have it downloaded into your CRM or database, and send out a message to your team on whatever communication, the example that I use for Slack? What if you can do all of that in one application? You can. And that is what today's video is about. I am going to demonstrate to you how in Airtable you can do everything. Let's dive in. Let's get started. I am in my client lead base in Airtable. Now, if you go up top to the left-hand side and you notice that the indentation is for data, but right next to it is automations, okay? What I do want to preface by saying before we dive in, with the free account, which is what we're using, the free plan, you are only allowed 100 automations a month. So after our 90 days, how to automate your law firm in 90 days, I will be diving in with the team plan to show you all of the things that you can do. But just to get started with the free plan, because you may be using another CRM like Google Sheets, Excel, Salesforce, and right now you don't want to make that commitment to use or transition to Airtable, which is fine. I will win you over. Okay. So I'm going to go back to data. And what I want to do is the same thing that I was doing when I created a workflow automation with Google Sheets and Google Forms in Make.com and also Airtable in Make.com. I want to automate once we receive a new form, a potential client has reached out. We want to send that automation to our Slack account so that they will know we have a new lead. Okay. So I'm going to go to my automations tab. In here, you see it's the same thing similar to Make.com. Now, the question you may have is why not just use Make? And I'll tell you why. When you're using applications, the best case scenario is to do everything and use all of the different resources you have in a native application. Like for instance, with Airtable, I am able to send some automations. Now, it may not be as extensive and I may not have the same power and flexibility for some automations in Airtable that I would in Make.com. But just a good practice is to use what you have in the application you are regularly using. And then if it doesn't, there's something that doesn't meet your need that you would like to do, then go ahead and find another application. So as you see in the videos I've been creating, I have been talking about Airtable and Make.com. With Airtable, starting from now, I will, if there's an automation we can use and create just in Airtable, I'm going to do it and demonstrate to you how you can do it. Now, if there's something else we want to add to it, then that's when I'll add on Make.com. And it's just a good business practice because having a lot of applications and not a lot of connections, I see a lot of businesses that instead of discovering what power and application they have, what they'll do is, okay, I need this. Well, let me add this application. Well, then I need this. Let me add this application. And you're spreading your authority to a lot of applications where sometimes you can just use a smaller set of applications to do the same type of function. Okay. Here is my trigger. Remember, we had trigger in make.com, and I'm going to add a trigger. And the trigger that I'm going to add is when record created. So when a record is created, what I want to do is I want to send a Slack message to our team. Okay. On the left hand side, you see it says trigger details. It's asking which table that I want to use, and it is table 1. And we don't want to choose a record yet because what I want to do is set up the automation and then we'll go in. Okay. But what you could do is you could choose a record and you see that it'll take you to the records that we currently have in our base, and it's asking would you like to use one of these. And we could, if we wanted to test the automation. And what I'll do is I'll test it with an existing record, like one of these, and then also I'll create a form and also test it when a new potential client completes our form. Okay, so I'm going to exit out of that. Now, what I want to do is I am going to add my action. And my action is going to be I want to send a message to my Slack channel. Now, and let me scroll back up so you can see all of the different actions you can take. You can send an email, which we will be doing. You can create a record, update a record, find records, sort a list, run a script. Now, run a script and generate with AI. You see, both of these are part of the team plan, but please trust me, we will be getting our hands dirty once I start using and showing what you can do with the team plan. And here are some integrations that Airtable currently has. They have Slack, Teams, Gmail, Google Calendar, Google Forms, Google Sheets, GitHub issues, Facebook pages, Outlook email and calendar, and also Hootsuite. And within those, it tells you what type of action you are able to implement. Okay. And here we want to send a message. Now, going over to the right hand side, we have our action type. Is there a label that we want? No, not really. The only thing, well, maybe we could put client lead. Okay. And action will run always. And so we need to select an account. So I'm going to go in and I am going to connect my Slack account. And here is my Slack account. It's asking for permissions. And yes, I want to allow it. The allow isn't, oh, it's still churning. Hold on 1 second. It's requesting permissions and I want to give it to it. Here we go. I just need to be patient. Here, I'm going to click allow. And now it's asking what channel or user. So going back over to the Slack channel, we created a new leads channel, and that is the one we will be using. So I'm going to drop down and I'm going to choose new leads, and I'm going to create a message similar to this one. So we don't have to create the wheel again. I'm going to copy this information. And I'm going to put it in here. And I'm going to take out Jerry the Mouse's information so that I can add in my placeholders. Okay. So now, similar to what we were doing in make.com, I want to put the new client's first and last name, phone number, etc., like I was doing in make.com. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is go over to the right hand side to this plus button, and I'm going to click it. And I am going to scroll down and you see all of the different data you can choose. Okay. Let me click out. I just wanted to make sure I was on name. So I'm going to click back in and I want the potential client's first name and last name. We want their phone number. And if you notice, as I scroll down, you're able to enter links too. As I scroll down, the information that's right here, this is all from our client lead table. And it's just guiding me on what I can choose, the options that I have. Okay, I'm going to go to date of injury, and also injury summary. That is the injury description. Okay, I'm going to scroll down. Unfurl links. We don't have any links, so we'll do that. So let's generate a preview. Okay, and it's saying this is what's going to be tested. When a record is created, send a message. Run test. Okay, now I'm going to use an existing record since I haven't created one yet. I'm going to choose Tina Marie. And you see it says this is what it will look like what it will look like in Airtable. And you see it says it'll be from Airtable, new leads and everything. So this looks good. And now I want to create a new form so that I can run it using a new lead. I'm going to click out of that. Okay, I'm going to turn it on. And also I want to rename it. Okay, instead of automation 1, I'm going to put client lead. Okay, I'm going to turn it on. So now I'm going to go back to my data. I'm going to go to my client lead form. I'm going to open up a form to create a new lead. And I'm going to test that one as well. So we're going to use David Samuels, D Samuels at test.com. Phone number 783-555-1212. Zip code 89764. Date of injury. They got injured on the 6th. And describe injury while working on a forklift. While at work, so they know it's a workplace injury. While at work, I was operating a forklift. It jilted and threw me out of the cab. When I fell, I hit my head and had to be rushed to the hospital. Okay, now I'm going to click submit. Okay, we're going to go back over to our data, our grid view, to see if our form, yes, here is D Samuels. And let me see, has it made it to, and it has made it to our Slack channel. And you see it's showing that it is from Airtable, David Samuels. It has the phone number, date of injury, and also what happened while they were at work. So powerful. Now, one other thing that I did for when I was in make.com for Google Sheets and Airtable, I was showing how you could also connect with Twilio to send an SMS message. So I'm going to click here, and I wanted to show you that they do have Twilio where you can integrate with it. However, this is the team plan. Hopefully, by then, my A2P review is done and I'm free to send SMS messages. But being able to have a centralized location where you have a link for your client lead form. Once they fill out that form, it automatically populates into your database CRM, also sends a message to your team's communication channel, whatever it may be. In this instance, I'm using Slack, is great because everything is housed in one location. I'm falling a little bit more in love with Airtable. I'm just letting you know. If you have any questions about automations, AI automations, Airtable, make.com, I will have a link in the description box where you can sign up for a free 30-minute consultation. I am Shay Jackson, your AI automation specialist. Have a great day.